The morning sunlight slowly entered the bedroom through the half-open window. A gentle breeze carried the fresh scent of orange blossoms across the neighborhood. Aaron opened his eyes before the alarm could ring. For the first time in weeks, he smiled. His hand instinctively touched the place on his shoulder where Ren had leaned against him the previous evening. He quickly sat up. No. I'm thinking about him again. Outside his room his mother was already preparing breakfast. You finally woke up. You never wake up this early during vacation. Aaron awkwardly scratched the back of his head. I couldn't sleep. His father looked over the newspaper and laughed. Someone must be keeping you awake. I'm just excited about today's beach trip. His parents exchanged knowing smiles. Neither of them believed that answer. Meanwhile, across the neighborhood, Ren stood beneath the old orange tree carrying 2 travel bags. His grandmother walked outside holding a small paper bag. I packed your favorite orange cookies. Ren smiled. You always worry too much. You'll only be gone for 2 days. His grandmother gently touched his cheek. Even one day feels long when the house becomes quiet. Ren hugged her tightly. I'll bring you something back. I don't need souvenirs. I only need you to come home safely. A ripe orange suddenly fell from the tree and rolled toward Ren's feet. His grandmother laughed. The tree is blessing your journey. Ren picked up the orange. For some reason, he immediately thought of Aaron. At exactly 8 o'clock, everyone gathered in front of the school gate. Jay arrived first carrying far too many snacks. Milo carried a football. Nina brought a camera around her neck. Aaron looked around nervously. Where's Ren? Before anyone answered, a familiar bicycle slowly stopped beside them. Ren smiled. Sorry. My grandmother wouldn't let me leave without breakfast. Aaron smiled back without realizing it. Jay quietly whispered to Milo. There it is. What? That smile. You only smile like that when Ren arrives. Aaron immediately became embarrassed. Stop making things up. Milo laughed. We didn't even say his name. Everyone burst into laughter. Ren looked completely confused. What did I miss? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The black van arrived a few minutes later. The driver opened the sliding door. Everyone ready? The friends cheered together. As the van slowly left the neighborhood, none of them noticed another vehicle parked across the street. A silver SUV. Inside sat a man wearing dark sunglasses. He quietly lifted a photograph. It showed Ren as a little boy standing beside an unfamiliar woman. The man spoke into his phone. They've started moving. A calm voice answered from the other end. Don't lose sight of him. The call ended. The SUV slowly followed the van from a distance. Inside the van, music filled the atmosphere. Jay sang loudly despite forgetting every lyric. Milo complained. Nina kept taking photos of everyone. Aaron quietly looked outside the window. Ren noticed. What are you thinking about? Aaron smiled softly. Nothing. You always say nothing. Because I don't know how to explain it. Ren looked at him for several seconds. Then quietly placed a peeled orange into Aaron's hand. You don't have to explain everything. Sometimes, it's enough just to stay beside someone. Aaron looked at the orange. Then at Ren. His heart suddenly beat much faster. Outside, the silver SUV continued following them. The man inside smiled. So, the 2 boys have finally met. He opened an old notebook. On the first page, only 2 names were written. Aaron. Ren. He slowly drew a circle around both names. Then whispered. The story finally begins. The highway stretched endlessly toward the sea. Golden sunlight reflected across the windows as the van moved farther away from the city. Inside, everyone had fallen asleep except Aaron. He quietly watched the scenery pass by. Rice fields. Small villages. Rows of orange orchards dancing in the wind. Ren noticed him staring outside. You still can't sleep? Aaron smiled. I don't want to miss anything. Ren leaned his head against the window. My grandmother says every journey changes someone. Do you believe that? Aaron looked at him. I don't know. I think we're the ones who decide whether to change. Ren laughed softly. You always have strange answers. And yet you keep asking me questions. The 2 smiled at each other. Neither realized Jay was secretly awake. He quietly took out his phone. Click. He captured a picture of them smiling together. Perfect. Later, the van finally entered Hua Hin. Blue waves sparkled beneath the afternoon sun. Palm trees lined both sides of the road. Everyone immediately woke up. The beach. We're finally here. The excitement filled the van. The driver stopped in front of a beautiful white beach house overlooking the ocean. Aaron stepped outside first. The cool sea breeze immediately touched his face. This place is amazing. Nina was already taking dozens of photos. Jay had somehow reached the beach before everyone else. Milo laughed. He forgot we haven't even unpacked. Ren quietly stood beside Aaron. Have you ever seen the ocean before? Aaron nodded. When I was little. But I don't remember much. Then, Ren smiled. Let's make new memories. Aaron looked at him. His heartbeat became strangely louder. Inside the beach house, everyone chose their rooms. Jay and Milo immediately argued over the biggest bedroom. Nina claimed the room with the balcony, leaving only one room, with one large bed. Jay looked at Aaron, then at Ren. A mischievous smile appeared. I guess fate has decided. Aaron almost dropped his backpack. What? You two can share. Ren calmly answered. I don't mind. Aaron's ears instantly turned red. Jay laughed so hard he almost fell onto the floor. That evening, the group gathered on the beach. The sky slowly turned orange. The same color as the fruit hanging from the trees back home. Nina carefully placed her camera on a rock. Group photo. Everyone stood together. 3, 2, 1. Smile. The shutter clicked. Behind them, far away, a man wearing a black cap quietly watched through binoculars. He lowered them. So, they're closer than expected. He picked up his phone. They've arrived. The voice on the other end asked, Has Ren noticed? Not yet. Good. Keep it that way. After dinner, Jay suggested a beach game. Hide and seek. Everyone agreed immediately. Nina counted loudly. 10, 9, 8. Everyone scattered across the beach. Aaron ran toward the old lighthouse. He laughed for the first time in days. Behind him, footsteps. He smiled. Run. No answer. He turned around. Nobody. Only the sound of waves. Suddenly, someone grabbed his wrist. Aaron gasped. But it wasn't Ren. A middle-aged woman stood before him. She looked frightened. You? She whispered while staring into his face. It really is you. Aaron frowned. Do I know you? The woman's eyes filled with tears. Before she could answer, a loud voice echoed across the beach. Aaron. Ren came running. The mysterious woman looked at Ren, then immediately stepped backward. Her expression changed from sadness to fear. No, it can't happen yet. She turned and disappeared into the darkness before either of them could stop her. Ren finally reached Aaron. Who was she? Aaron looked toward the empty path where the woman had vanished. I've never seen her before. But deep inside, something felt strangely familiar. As if he had forgotten someone important. The ocean waves continued crashing against the shore. High above the lighthouse, a single orange ribbon fluttered in the wind. Someone had tied it there, long before they arrived. The cold sea breeze continued blowing across the empty beach. Aaron remained frozen. His eyes stayed fixed on the path where the mysterious woman had disappeared. Ren looked at him with concern. Aaron. You don't look okay. Aaron forced a smile. I'm fine. No. You've been saying that a lot lately. Before Aaron could answer, Jay's voice echoed from behind. There you are. We've been looking everywhere. Nina walked toward them carrying her camera. You disappeared in the middle of the game. Milo laughed. I knew these two would get lost together. Everyone laughed. Everyone except Aaron. Later that night, the friends gathered around a bonfire. The flames danced beneath the stars. Jay roasted marshmallows. Milo played his guitar. Nina quietly recorded the peaceful moment. Ren sat beside Aaron. Neither of them spoke. The silence wasn't awkward. It was comforting. Finally Ren broke it. You've been thinking about that woman. Aaron nodded. I don't know why. It felt like she already knew me. Ren stared into the fire. My grandmother always says, sometimes people remember us, even when we've forgotten them. Aaron looked toward Ren. Do you believe that? Ren smiled. I believe some meetings happen for a reason. Aaron's heartbeat became faster. Before he could reply, Jay suddenly shouted. I've got an idea. Everyone turned toward him. Truth or dare? The group immediately cheered. Milo laughed. This is going to end badly. A glass bottle was placed in the center. Jay spun it. The bottle slowly turned. And stopped. Pointing directly at Ren. Jay grinned. Truth or dare? Ren answered calmly. Truth. Jay smiled even wider. Do you like someone? Everyone immediately became silent. Ren looked around the circle. His eyes finally stopped. On Aaron. For several long seconds. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Then Ren smiled. Yes. Jay almost jumped into the fire. I knew it. Nina laughed loudly. Who is it? Ren slowly shook his head. I'm not telling. Jay protested. That's cheating. I answered the question. Everyone laughed. Only Aaron couldn't. His heart refused to calm down. A few minutes later, the bottle spun again. This time, it stopped in front of Aaron. Jay couldn't stop smiling. My lucky night. Truth or dare? Aaron quietly answered. Truth. Jay immediately asked. Has anyone ever made your heart beat faster? The bonfire suddenly felt much warmer. Aaron looked down. Then, without realizing it, he glanced toward Ren. Only for a second. But everyone noticed. Jay covered his mouth dramatically. Oh? I see. Aaron immediately stood up. I need some fresh air. He quickly walked away from the bonfire. Ren quietly followed him. The beach was almost empty. Only the sound of waves remained. Aaron stood near the water. Moonlight reflected across the ocean. Ren stopped beside him. You don't have to answer them. Aaron smiled nervously. I wasn't running away. You always run away. Aaron laughed softly. Maybe. Ren looked toward the sea. I wasn't lying. Aaron slowly turned. What? When Jay asked me if I liked someone, I told the truth. Silence. The waves crashed gently against the shore. Ren took a deep breath. I don't know when it started. Maybe when we shared oranges. Maybe when you kept smiling even on your worst days. Or maybe, the first time you looked at me like I actually mattered. Aaron couldn't say a word. His heart was beating louder than the ocean. Just as Ren was about to continue, a loud scream echoed from the beach house. Help! Everyone immediately turned. Nina came running toward them, completely terrified. Jay is gone. What? He was here a second ago. There was a loud noise outside. And when we came back, he disappeared. The happy beach trip ended in an instant. Far away, hidden behind the trees, a black van slowly drove away from the beach. Inside, Jay slowly opened his eyes. His hands were tied. He looked around in panic. Across from him, a man wearing black gloves smiled. He quietly placed an orange on Jay's lap. Then whispered, Tell Aaron? The game has only just begun. The cheerful atmosphere disappeared within seconds. Everyone rushed back toward the beach house. Jay's backpack still lay beside the bonfire. His phone was on the sand. The marshmallow he had been roasting had fallen into the fire. Only Jay was missing. Aaron immediately searched around the house. Jay! His voice echoed into the darkness. No answer. Ren checked behind the storage shed. Nothing. Milo searched the beach. Nothing. Nina's hands were shaking. He was standing right beside me. I only went inside for a minute. When I came back, he was gone. The driver arrived after hearing the shouting. What happened? Jay disappeared. The driver's face immediately turned serious. Nobody leaves this area. I'll call the police. He reached for his phone. No signal. What? Everyone checked their phones. No one had a signal. Ren looked toward the road leading into the forest. This isn't normal. Daniel's words from years ago echoed in his mind. When someone wants to isolate you, the first thing they destroy is communication. Aaron noticed something lying near the front gate. An orange. Perfectly fresh. Unlike the others. This one had a small symbol carved into its skin. A tiny compass. Ren picked it up carefully. This wasn't here before. Milo frowned. What does it mean? Aaron suddenly noticed another orange. Then another. Then another. Each one had been placed several meters apart, creating a trail, leading into the forest. They want us to follow. Ren quietly nodded. It's a trap. Before anyone could decide, a faint voice echoed through the trees. Help! Everyone froze. Jay! The voice came again. We have to go. The driver blocked the path. No. We wait for the police. Aaron shook his head. If that's really Jay, he doesn't have time. Ren looked directly at Aaron. I'm coming with you. So am I. Milo stepped forward. Nina hesitated. Then nodded. We stay together. The driver sighed. If you're going, I'm not letting you go alone. The group entered the forest. The deeper they walked, the quieter everything became. No birds. No insects. Only the sound of leaves beneath their feet. The line of oranges continued. Each fruit seemed deliberately placed. After nearly 20 minutes, the trail ended. In front of them stood an old abandoned lighthouse hidden among tall trees. Its paint had faded years ago. The wooden door moved gently in the wind. Creak, creak, Ren whispered. This place isn't on the tourist map. Aaron slowly pushed the door open. The inside smelled of salt and dust. A spiral staircase disappeared into darkness. Then, footsteps echoed above them. Someone was upstairs. Jay? No answer. The group climbed carefully. Halfway up, they found another orange. This one wasn't carved. It had a folded piece of paper attached to its stem. Aaron opened it. Only one sentence was written. Some truths are sweeter than oranges. And far more dangerous. Before anyone could react, a loud metallic sound echoed below. Clang! The front door slammed shut. The old lighthouse suddenly became completely dark. Nina screamed. Milo ran toward the entrance. It won't open. The door had been locked from the outside. At the very top of the lighthouse, a slow clap echoed through the darkness. 1, 2, 3. A flashlight switched on. A silhouette stood at the top of the stairs. His face couldn't be seen. Only his voice. Calm. Confident. Welcome. I've been waiting for all of you. Aaron stepped forward. Where's Jay? The stranger smiled. He's safe. For now. Ren clenched his fists. What do you want? The stranger slowly raised an old photograph. It showed two small boys standing beneath an orange tree. One was clearly Ren. The other child's face had been burned away. The stranger looked directly at Ren. You've spent your whole life believing that was your only childhood photo. He smiled. It isn't. I have the rest. The flashlight suddenly went out. Darkness swallowed the lighthouse. Then, a single voice echoed through the silence.